Well, Dagrok said. Did Dagrok say his real name?
No, you just said Felix.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well, I have so many questions now, Felix, but I guess if you're with them, I suppose I understand. Y'all are all roguelike. Whatever.
It may be easiest to just take a little trip over to the Spire of Leisure and go over it a little bit first.
I'm curious. Felix, are you part halfling, or what is your actual age?
No, I'm relatively young. I'm definitely human, you know. I don't know, 17, 18 now. I kind of loses track after a while, but I was raised under the tutelage of Madame Mephisto here, and let's just say that she's always thought of me as wise beyond my years, and I tend to agree with her.
I mean, you definitely fooled us, so I can't really argue.
Yes.
I'm surprised
that was my job, right?
You're away with the light, to be honest. But if you've got a good heart, then...
Sure, I do, don't I?
Excuse me, can we get an introduction for our new partner?
Oh yeah, at this point, I guess I'll look over at the human. And this man, what's his story?
I don't know. Can you get an introduction for our...
Hey! I'm just gonna, like, with the end of my flail, just pop him on the head.
Ow.
Hey, we're talking to you.
Oh, yes.
Well,
What is it?
who are you? I mean, before we go off with you, they're forcing you to go with us and forcing us to take you. I'd like to know a little bit about you.
I am a samurai. I am here to help on the behalf of Delmuth Bazana.
A samurai? You're a bit far from your kind.
It is a long story.
What's pushing you to go all the way out here?
I do not wish to speak of it. It is important for my own safety that I do not.
Okay, I mean,
Suit yourself.
we've been walking around with Felix here, who is a completely different person than we thought. Why not add another roguish one?
I mean, you
And-
guys invited me along. I'm clever and kind enough.
Yeah, more than
that
now
was
you
Nerdo's doing. Now he's dead.
You can be sure that I follow the way of the warrior. I will serve you with honor. And I bow again.
Okay, new friend, let me just warn you, we've already lost 3.
As long as you know how to use that blade, try to help you as much as we can.
Yes. You will meet no one better than with this katana than I.
Well, I mean, don't you samurais only ever make one katana? So I don't really think anybody would be using your katana.
You're not wrong.
Fucking weaves.
Yes. So, as exciting as our new friend seems to be, would you like to make our way towards the Spire of Asia?
But I just saw this great fighting ring over there. Shouldn't we at least test this Hanate against Sir Rexithil or Sir Efor, see if he's worth the trouble?
And then
If
Dagrok's like, you probably should go check out the Spire of Leisure. It's rather time sensitive that we get this done with.
It's up to you, lads.
Maybe when we return.
All right then.
Okay.
Lead the way, Felix. If that's your name.
All right. Oh, Felix isn't my name. I'm a lucky one.
Glad Dresna has got
Because
such a good
Felix-
taste.
Ah, Dresna. She's dreadful, isn't she? No, I've never really taken too much towards Desna. I've always considered myself more of a Calistria type of guy. But anyways, that's another story in and of itself. Let's go. And you guys head out of the room and you begin to walk out of the bar and walk towards this large spire that reaches pretty high into the sky. And
How high?
what are you trying to do, Rexnell?
Just understand the deity he's talking about.
Oh, you know that Calistria is a little bit more devious than most, but beyond that, not really much. Yeah, so there's this very large tower. It definitely towers over everything else, but everything else is pretty small. It's kind of there's a moat-esque type thing around it, and it is in this almost like a little island in the middle of this moat, and there's like a land bridge connecting it, and then you go into this large spire that seemingly looks as though it has about 5 large floors to it, and it's kind of a circular shape, and it just goes straight up into the sky, and very tall, very large, and there's giant ornate doors that open into it, and just for reference, it's still kind of like early afternoon when you guys are there right now, and even still at this early time you walk in and it's just hustling and bustling everywhere.
Are the doorknobs
And,
phallic?
No, they're not. They're like large rings essentially, but the doors weren't closed. They were open with guards, very heavily armed guards standing right outside, who kind of give you guys some looks, like they kind of want to say, I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow to the knee. Like they're kind of giving you some sketchy looks like that.
They're not going to stop
And,
us with our weapons, are they?
No, they're not going to stop you.
Okay.
But they don't stop you, and you can tell that it's kind of because they trust that you wouldn't be able to do anything in here. There's plenty of guards, and as you go in, you see plenty more guards. They're all walking around. It would be kind of foolish to try and start a fight in this place. Yeah, Felix comes in and he sees just a very large man. I mean, you look at him and E4 is a large guy, but this guy makes E4 look almost small. He's very tall, and he's standing on top of the railings on these stairs. Like right as you enter, you see all sorts of kind of gambling tables for all sorts of different games, whether it's card games or dice or just all sorts of things. And you see a staircase like right at the middle that kind of comes up and then goes out to the right and the left, like a grand staircase. And at the top of it, you see this large man who has a kind of an aura about him, that like an aura of regality about him. So he, upon you guys entering, sees you and says, "Ah, Felix, my boy, it's such a nice treat to see you yet again." And Felix says, "Alexander, yes, it's a pleasure, of course, as always."
I like
And,
look at
yeah,
Rexithil and Sir
Go on.
E4 and kind of like raise my eyes like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I don't know, and just clench my fist really, really tight. Makes that nice little leather rubbery sound.
Yeah, and as they kind of like walk towards each other, Alexander just embraces him in like a large hug and is like, "Ah, who are your friends?" And Felix is like, "Oh, they're nobodies, just some folks I hired to be my bodyguards on the way over here. We were all coming back from Oasis at the same time. Don't worry though, I gave you a message to Tut. He's he's all good. He's not ripping anybody off or anything like that.
Are
And
you sure
Alexander
about
looks
that?
with a booming voice is like, "Ah, thank you, Felix. That is always good to hear. That man is not my favorite, but nobody else would want to live out there."
You hear all that or no?
Yeah, y'all heard all that.
Excuse me. What may I call you?
Oh yes. I am Alexander Fulbright. I am the owner of this establishment here. And by all means, I will take all of the coin that you allow me to.
Mr.
But
Fulbright, I'm
no.
a fan of your radical policies.
My radical, excuse me?
Your claims for the city are well thought out. I appreciate that.
Thank you, I guess. And he just kind of like looks at Felix, and Felix is just kind of like shrugs.
Our friend Sir E4 likes to pretend he's got a political mind, but he's not the brightest.
I think he means it is an honor to meet someone as important as you.
Yes, I like this guy. So nice compared
Yes,
to our last friend.
I'm sure that you're all honored to meet me. I would be too, but I am very busy, and I will have to leave now. But Felix, I'll have to talk to you. I'm assuming you'll want your job back. And he's like, yes, let's talk later, Fulbright. And the very large man just walks upstairs.
Okay, bye. Yeah, you're right.
Sorry if you guys said anything. I was using the bathroom real quick. I can hear whoops.
Discussing hypotheticals.
Yeah, never mind. Can't do it.
Not with that attitude.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been an interesting idea if you guys had tried to do that. But yeah, anyway, so Felix is like, all right, so this is the place. As you can see, the first floor is generally the gambling floor. The second floor is more for the heavy drinkers. There's more sorts of finer sex there to titillate your fantasies. The third floor is for, well, a bit more private affairs as the second floor begins. And beyond that, we have the fourth floor, which has all sorts of fighting and kind of more intense gambling, maybe blood battles, things like that, dog fights. The fifth floor is for, well, pretty interesting stuff. I actually don't really know what goes on in the fifth floor. It's far more wealthy clientele to know and for me to not ask about. And the sixth floor is where Mr. Fulbright resides with his offices.
How many officers are there?
I do not know. I have never been up there. He does not allow anybody but his most trusted servants to go there.
So you're not trustworthy.
It's not that, but I am but a employee here. Not as though I've put my full heart and soul into this job.
You ever killed for this man?
Well, I didn't say that, now had I?
I'm just asking.
But no, my job didn't require much killing. As I said, I was more playing music and, heading gambling tables, like.
Well then, what would you suggest we do as connoisseurs of gambling and violence and all of that?
Well, I do suggest one thing, and that one thing is that you try and make sure that he does not know who you are. I really think that the fact that all of you went and tried to introduce yourself was probably a bad call. Fulbright is, while a busy man, a very smart man. He didn't get to the position that he's in for no reason. And, well, I would say that you should probably attempt to avoid him at all costs so that he doesn't sniff your plan at all.
Got it.
Especially you, E4. You're not exactly
Yes.
the most subtle.
I understand. I'm sorry. I see the error of my ways and where it could lead us.
Yeah, it's okay. He seemed preoccupied today. But yes, this is the Pleasure Spire, the Spire of Leisure, and I suggest that we should probably not spend too much time in here today. Pleasure Spire, yeah, or Spire of Leisure. But yes, I say we should probably go ahead and let you guys explore throughout this city a little bit, begin to get your bearings a little bit, and I have some people who may be able to assist us with this quest. I have a good starting point for us, but I don't exactly have a plan for how we're going to go about assassinating this man.
Who needs a plan? We can just improv, right?
Yes, you know that that might be unwise, but I would say if I trusted anybody to do that, it would be you, Morden.
Well, let us
how
not
about
talk here.
we either play around here for a bit or just get on with our lives? I know that Rexeter was looking for the library or maybe a church or something.
I'm not feeling too well here. Yeah, I talked to Morden about going to the library.
Yeah, so there's so you're saying you don't really want to go to the church right now or anything?
I was saying.
Sorry, I'll probably have more of this stuff drawn up and everything by the next time we meet. I'm going to have kind of more general maps of the city drawn up so that we can have our bearings a little bit. But so yeah, Felix is like, I suggest we should probably leave for the moment, come back later. I believe that I have some people that we might want to meet. And I'm going to go ahead and call it there tonight. Because I don't have enough stuff beyond this written. But yeah, next week we'll begin to meet some folks and try and figure out a plan for how we're going to kill this bastard.
10-4, Captain.
Cool.
We did go a little bit late tonight anyways.
Yeah.
I guess we started a little bit late too. But